Hello there. I'm Stephen Carlson. This is Working from the Heart, and today I feel inspired to riff on the poetry of Khalil Gibran, the great Lebanese American poet. He wrote, "Work is love made visible." So, with the Sedona method, we often start with the negative, things that we don't like, things that burden us, oppress us, and we let them go, or very often invite, open to, and welcome them. And these negative thoughts, feelings, sensations, they dissolve naturally of their own. But again, since we spend a lifetime learning not to feel our feelings, the Sedona method helps us to accelerate this, to use our natural ability to let go to transcend these limiting emotions, thoughts, and so forth. But we can also take the opposite direction. That is, we can focus, turn towards the positive. So that's going to be today's little exercise. I invite you to join me. Be sure you're in a good place where you can focus without being disturbed. And when you're ready, take a deep breath and just allow yourself to settle. Allow things to be. Allow all to be as it is. Work. Work is love made visible. So take a deep breath and feel into your heart. And just allow all to be. And of course, at this point, the body wants to sneeze. So that's how it's going to be. Actually, let me start by reading a little bit from Khalil Gibran, Khalil Gibran, to stimulate us a little bit. So he writes, "Work is love made visible." And I'm not reading the whole poem here, but just extracts. "When you work, you are a flute through whose heart the whispering of the hours turns to music. And he also writes that if you cannot work with love, but only with distaste, it is better that you should leave your work and sit at the gate of the temple and take alms from those who work with joy. He also says, if you bake bread with indifference, you bake a bitter bread that feeds but half a man's hunger. Well, many of us do that. Many of us work with resentment, resistance. We put up a protest. And that definitely affects the quality of our work and also the quality of the hours that we spend. However, he also writes, what is it like? What is it to work with love? It is to weave the cloth with threads drawn from your heart, even as if your beloved were to wear that cloth. That's a useful pointer. So let's play with this a little more. Again, focus on your heart and breathe into your heart. And just focus on what it is that you do for work, whether it's the way that you earn your money or the way that you spend your time. It's the way that you engage with the world. And just for now, can you focus on love, loving that effort, that labor, how you engage with the world. Just as best you can, breathe into your heart, and allow love. Now, at this point, what comes up may or may not be love. That's just the nature of it. When you focus or welcome or request love, very often the unlove comes up first. So whatever it is that came up, just allow it. Whatever it is, welcome it, just as it is, and just for now. Again, can you just welcome love? Breathe love into your heart, just as best you can. And welcome whatever came. Whatever came is okay. Now, when you're ready, could you let that go? Would you let that go? When? Again, these three questions are a very simple invitation to just let go. And you might be interested to know, even if the answer comes up as no, that's quite okay. Yes or no, quite okay. And it may also sound strange to want to let go of positive emotions. Letting go of negative emotions makes perfect sense to most of us. Letting go of positive emotions? Try it and see. In my experience and those of my friends, colleagues, and clients, as you let go of positive emotions, you can go even higher in mood. Odd. But don't believe me. This is something that I invite you to try for yourself and experience and discover. So, back to the beginning. Love. See, work. Work is love made visible. So, can you just breathe love into your heart as you imagine what it is that you do for work, how you engage with the world? Take a moment. And just allow whatever comes up and even more. And when you're ready, could you let that go? Would you let that go? When? So, one more time. Allow yourself to focus on what it is that you do for work. And the phrase, work is love made visible. Is your work love made visible? Has it ever been? Could it be? What would that even mean? And again, this is not a question for the mind. This is a question for the heart. So just notice what comes up. And sit with that for a moment. Allow that to be as it is. Work is love made visible. And whatever came up, could you let that go? Would you let that go? When? Now, another part of this as well, I'm not going to read the poem now, but it's in there, Sometimes we think that some work is more worthy than others, right? So to be president or to be a CEO or to be a great leader or an artist or versus somebody who sweeps the floor or even somebody who works at a grocery store. Is one greater than the other? Is one better? Both, or actually all cases, are examples of work, how we engage with the world. Is one actually better than the other? Is it more, I'm not talking about how people tend to see things, because people obviously look at CEOs and say that's better than being the trash collector. But really, truly, in your heart of hearts, notice what comes up. Notice what is true for you. And again, think about what it is that you do for work, how you engage with the world. Work is love made visible. Just notice what comes up. Welcome that. Allow it to be. And when you're ready, could you let that go? Would you let that go? When? Good. Quick check. One last pass. So, again, think about what it is that you do, your labor, your work, and then the phrase, work is love made visible. Could you work in that way? Do you work in that way? What would that be like? Welcome whatever comes up in connection to this. Let it be okay, whatever it is, positive, negative, neutral, doesn't matter. And sit with that for a moment, just allow it to be here. And then when you're ready, could you let that go? Would you let that go? When? So that feels like a good place to stop. You can always listen to this again to get more out of it. And if you had, well, whatever you experienced, I encourage you to write in the comments if something came up for you. And if there's a topic that you'd like to work on in future, just let me know also in the comments. Bye for now.